Are you nervous that your acne might lead to scarring? If so, make sure to watch today's video to find out how to prevent it. Hey lovely, I'm Carmen, founder of Luminosity Acne Skincare. Now before we get into today's topic, I want to quickly bring your attention down to the links below. I have a link where you can download a free copy of my list of pore clogging ingredients to avoid. I hand this list to all of my clients to ensure that everything they use on their skin is truly acne safe, and you can get your copy today. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into today's video, which is all about how to prevent acne scarring. Many of my clients are terrified about acne scarring occurring, so I get many questions about what they can do to prevent scarring from taking place. Now, for the purpose of this video, when I talk about scarring, I mean loss of tissue or collagen that results in craters or pitting. Oftentimes people will interchange true scarring with hyperpigmentation, which is a discoloration of the skin, and a lot of times people think that that's scarring because hyperpigmentation is very slow to resolve. But again, for the purpose of this video, we are just talking about true scarring, which again is a result of loss of tissue or collagen from the skin, and it just gives it an uneven or unsmooth texture. Let's briefly talk about how scarring forms, because there is a lot of misinformation surrounding this topic. So scars always start with the pore wall rupturing. So maybe you had a clogged pore and you picked at it to try to remove it, and instead of successfully removing it, unfortunately you ruptured the pore wall and now there's inflammation that's taking place. Or maybe you didn't pick at the skin, and instead what happened was that the pore itself could not accommodate the continual buildup of dead skin cells, oil, and bacteria, so the pore wall ruptured all on its own without you doing anything to help that along. No matter the cause, this rupture sends an internal alarm, and basically this results in white blood cells being sent to the site of the rupture in order to help heal and clean up the mess. These white blood cells, though, unfortunately sometimes can destroy the tissue and collagen as they're trying to heal up the skin. Most times though, the healing or battle that the white blood cells are doing is relatively quick, because a lot of times these ruptures happen to be closer to the surface of the skin, so their job usually is much quicker. In this case, there's very minimal to no tissue damage done. However, other times, if the rupture of the pore wall happens deeper and not at a surface level, then what happens is that these white blood cells are going to spend more time in battle and more time trying to heal the rupture. And unfortunately, the longer they spend in battle, the more damage they're going to do to collagen and tissue, which will result in scarring. So to recap, acne scarring occurs from damage done to tissue and collagen from our own white blood cells. And these white blood cells are well-meaning, unfortunately, though if they spend just a little bit too much time in battle or trying to heal the skin, then it will result in more extensive damage or scarring. So what can we do to prevent or minimize scarring? Well, of course, the first thing to do is to prevent the acne in the first place, and that's simply because if you don't have acne, then it will not lead to scarring. But I know a lot of you are not in that boat. You are still in the middle of your acne battle, so I'll definitely give you some better advice than that. So the next best thing is just to try to bring down inflammation as quickly as possible, simply because cystic or nodular acne tends to be the most inflamed, therefore it leads to the most extensive scarring, because the more inflamed a pimple is, the more time the white blood cells are going to spend in battle. A great way to bring down inflammation is just to simply start taking some anti-inflammatory supplements such as omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, and selenium. And I did recently create a video on zinc, so make sure that you watch that one as well. Another thing you can do is to apply ice to a pimple as soon as you feel it forming, because when you apply ice to an inflamed pimple, you're going to help minimize its size, bring down inflammation, and generally help to heal it up faster. And I cannot tell you how many times I felt a pimple emerging on my skin, and the ice really helped to stop it dead in its tracks, so it prevented it from getting any larger. Another tip I have is not to use rotary skin brushes, washcloths, scrubs, or makeup remover wipes on your skin, because if you have inflamed acne to begin with, any type of rubbing, scrubbing, or friction on the skin will only inflame your breakouts even further. For exfoliation, I recommend using alpha-hydroxy acids, and for my clients, I specifically have them use Luminosity's Mandelic Maven Serum, because it helps exfoliate the pores from the inside out without any friction. Another bonus of Mandelic Maven Serum is that it also helps to have an anti-inflammatory effect on the skin, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to prevent acne scarring. Another acne scar reducing tip I have is to leave all the extractions to your esthetician, and that's simply because a lot of times people will just kind of pick at everything on their skin, but what they don't realize is that not everything is ready to be picked at or extracted out. What ends up happening when you're picking at pimples that no matter how hard you try, they're just not going to be expelled out, is that unfortunately you put your skin at a greater risk for scarring simply because you tend to drive that impaction further into the pore. And that's because there's no way for it to come out because it's just not extractable. So there's nowhere for it to go but further in as you're pressing on the skin. And remember what I mentioned earlier, that if the pore wall ruptures closer to the bottom of the pore, that's going to lead to worse inflammation. Typically it would lead to a cyst or nodular acne, and that's exactly when scarring loves to set in, because the more inflamed the pimple is, the longer the white blood cells are going to spend in battle and trying to heal up that rupture. So your esthetician is going to know which pimples are ready to be extracted out and which ones need to be left alone, thereby minimizing scarring for your skin. Also pay attention to which foods increase your acne severity. So for most of my clients, the foods that are going to cause more inflammation for them are mainly going to be iodine-rich foods like dairy, soy, and processed foods. So those are really all the tips I have for you when it comes to minimizing acne scarring. Really what it comes down to is just trying to minimize your acne severity or inflammation, because there is a direct correlation with how inflamed your acne is to how much at risk you are for acne scarring. With that said though, like I mentioned, the best way really to stop acne scarring is to prevent the acne in the first place. And of course, I'm partial to Luminosity acne skincare products and the protocols that I have for my clients, because I truly have seen them work miracles. Even for clients who've been on Accutane multiple times, the only things that's helped them to finally clear up their skin is just sticking to the protocols that I have laid out for them. And if you'd like to work with me to get closer to clear skin, then please visit my website at luminosityacne.com. I have two options for you, whether you live close by to my North Carolina office or even if you live nowhere near me. So you can be halfway across the world and you can still get beautiful clear skin simply by purchasing one of my Luminosity acne skincare kits. The kits do ship worldwide, so again, no matter where you live, you can still get beautiful clear skin. And really quickly, I'm just gonna pop in some photos of my clients, and these are people who've either come to see me at my local North Carolina office, or they've just simply purchased the kit because again, they live nowhere close to me. All right, so that's it for this video. I do hope that you found it helpful. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more acne related videos, and also follow me on Instagram at Luminosity Acne. All right, I'll see you in my next video.